Bit of sandpaper around here somewhere. We'll do that instead.
Hello guys, and welcome to the first episode of Two Guys, One Garage. Now, my name is Sam. This is Rory.
Hi.
Yep. So we've got a lot of stuff that we want to do on this channel. Rory's got a bit of a project ongoing. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I think the first thing we're going to do in this video is just introduce ourselves, tell you what we're about, what we want to do, where we're from, what we know, what we don't know, so you can get a kind of taste of what we're about. So I think, Rory, I think you should go first. Introduce yourself.
Right.
Tell everyone what you want to do, really, what this is about.
Okay. So hi, Rory. I've been working on cars quite a long time now, since COVID. Bought this car. So this is Clyde. I bought him. He's a Gen 6 Toyota Celica ST202, 2 litre 3SGE. I had a ride in a GT4 when I was 12 and I've been obsessed since. So when I went to a trip to Maslan with my now fiance.
Did you say Matalan?
Maslan.
As in like the shop?
Yeah. I went out because I needed some trousers.
Cool.
And I came back with a car.
I think that's all Matalan's for, really.
Yeah,
just work trousers and nothing else.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay, yeah.
I have an alright suit.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. I've never bought a suit from Matalan. I wouldn't know.
Anyway, so yeah, I came back with a car. So this is, I bought it for £1,500, which I thought was a steal. As it turns out, that's about what they're worth. But yeah, I got it and didn't know anything about cars. So up until then, I've been riding motorbikes. So I'm big into my bikes. There's a period of when I got it and I thought, oh, it's brilliant. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. And I quickly found out there's lots of things wrong with it.
Started scraping the paint away. And I was like, oh, right, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So
hence why it's here like this.
Yes. So it quickly went to, so we bought it in February, and then in March, it then went to a garage of a place of a guy I knew. And it went up on a ramp, and we quickly established things were wrong. There's quite a funny story actually before, when we were driving it. I was driving it up to, there's this little chicane on the way up to my house. And I went a bit fast around one of the corners, and suddenly the rear end decided to step out. This is front wheel drive. So
there was something wrong with the rear end.
Yeah, something wrong with the rear end. And then my fiance then took it out to drive, or then girlfriend, and she spun it in a corner as well.
Right.
So we quickly established once it was up on the ramp that the rear suspension had collapsed.
Oh, so it was just literally doing that.
Yeah. So
Nice.
So the first job was I replaced all the rear suspension, basically took everything off, worked on it with a bloody grinder, used a lot of hammerite because I didn't know any better back then.
Yeah.
So you can see this is like a progression. Like, you know, you're probably going to see me progressing. There's a lot of things I don't know, but I have an obsession with cleaning things and making them shiny.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we're not professionals. Like, we don't know. We have an idea of what we want to do.
Yeah.
But we're not professionals by any means.
No, not at all. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Don't know.
We are just going to try and do what we can. I've got my own things. I've got a Mini that I want to do. Rory's got his Celica, but bit of a deadline on this.
Yes, bit of a deadline. So as you heard me say, obviously fiance. So we've just set the date for our wedding. I'm going to send you a save the date. Actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
30th of May, 2026.
13th.
30th.
Oh, I got the date wrong already.
Yeah.
So 30th of May, 2026. Now, why are you getting this car ready for that?
Because it was the first real commitment that we made together to buy something together. £1,500. Obviously, it's a lot.
That's fair. Yeah.
So yeah, and we bought it together. It's been ours since. So I wanted it to be at the wedding. And it's white as well. It works.
Yeah, white dress, white car.
Yeah.
2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
It's good. So you're effectively going to have this as your wedding car.
One of.
Because it's your project together type thing. You know, it's one of those things you're going to keep it for however many years.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
It wouldn't be my wedding if there was only one wedding car.
Fair enough. What's the other car?
There's a Jaguar Mark II.
Oh.
There's the Spitfires making an appearance as well.
Ooh, Spitfire. I do like that.
Yeah.
I like the plane more than the car. But yeah. Okay, brilliant. So we've got an idea of what we're doing with that.
Yeah.
When it comes to me, I've always liked cars. I've had a few cars, but I've not really gone crazy into doing them up. You know, I've done things like change suspension, exhaust, body kits, all the stuff that people usually do. But I've not.
A photo on your phone of an engine in pieces. It's a Cosworth engine.
No, so that was my friend's dad's car. That was a Lotus twin cam
Right. Okay. Yeah.
in a Mark II Cortina.
Mm.
Now that car was already done, but we just, because we were teenagers, early 20s, we were just tinkering and taking things apart and being like, yeah, what else can we do to this car to make it better, etc. So
Yeah.
I've always been around cars and I've loved cars. My first car was a Mark II Golf.
Nice.
My second car was a Mark II Golf.
Okay, I'm seeing a theme.
Yeah, so Volkswagen, kind of German, I'm more leaning towards, but I do appreciate JDM, I appreciate Japanese, and I do, like, you know, we work for Toyota, so it's a natural kind of caveat to have this kind of done up, not modified, but restored, resto mod in a way. Like, you're going to improve the things on the car, but you're not going to make it look any different than what it did from factory type of thing. Am I right?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much right. I mean, after it's been to the wedding, done that, then the plan is probably going to do a European road trip. So I don't want it, like, I can't have, as much as I'd love a really loud exhaust at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's also a 202, not a 205, so I don't like, I've seen a few people that have got 202 and they're very much like trying to make a 205 out of it, and you're like, it's not, don't try and make something it's not. I think keep it more refined. Probably like to try and make it quieter in the interior a bit. Probably give it a reversing camera, because as we'll see on my other, I have 3 Celicas. On the other one, there's a few evidences of why I might need a reversing. Well, not I. My fiance might need a.
Yeah. Hopefully she won't see this. She will see.
She
this.
will.
She will.
She will.
Yeah, she will see this.
Yeah. I'm going to keep reminding myself.
She's been reversing into things, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So
actually, well, apparently things hop out on her.
It happens.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So you're basically just, it's like people with Skyline GTS-Ts, they try and make it look like a GTR.
Yeah.
You're not doing that.
No.
You're keeping it as it should be.
Yeah.
But just improving it, modernising it.
Yes. Exactly.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Nah,
which is good.
I think it's a quite good platform for that.
100%. And how far into this do you think you are, percentage-wise?
Oh God.
Looking at it, I'd say about 5%.
It feels like I've been on it. Oh God. I've been on it around 8 months, I think. Obviously, it's only in my spare time.
Yeah, of course.
I've been doing, so this paraphernalia you see behind me is my obsession with making things shiny.
That's Rory's section.
Yeah, that's my section. That's been a big part of that time as well. But yes, so I learned to weld during COVID. Really loved it. I got myself a Triumph Spitfire. More on that later, I suppose.
Yep.
But yeah, and I've been doing a hell of a lot of welding on this, which I suppose we'll go through.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You know, it's a Japanese car, so.
Oh, Japanese steel, so much nicer to weld.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've never welded before in my life, so I'd love to learn how to do it. I've never done it. Yeah. So, like, again, we're both learning. He's done a lot more things than what I have, but I've done other things that he hasn't. So modern cars, you know, electronics, that kind of stuff, blah, 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 tuning, changing turbos, exhaust, intercoolers. I can do all of that, not a problem.
That might be a foreign language to me.
Yeah. But when it comes to fabrication, I have no clue. I've seen it happen, and it looks cool, but I have no clue. But we've got other things that we want to do as well. So we want to go to shows. We want to speak to people that have done things like this. You know, people that have got more experience, get advice from them. And just go to shows in general and just network with people and share the passion, because I'm fed up with people hating on other people for cars.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, don't get me wrong, we used to do it as, you know, when we were younger, like, oh, why have you got a Ford Fiesta? Or why have you got a Corsa?
I just have said about people making 202s into 205s.
Yes, you did just say that.
Yeah. I'm not hating on it.
But yeah.
I mean, there's a place for it.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
If you've got a Vauxhall Corsa, fair play to you. Just keep it away from us. That's all we're asking. But I think the thing what we've got to do next is just have a little tour of your workshop.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's what we'll do now.
So I think my workshop.
Yeah.
I set it up about a year ago now. It's in a unit which I share with a friend of mine. I just rent this little space. I'm very lucky to do so. I know that. I get a lot of comments on that. I've built everything that you see pretty much. A friend of mine. So we've got the workbench.
I'm sorry, I need to interrupt you there. That does not look like it does anything in the coldness that it is at the moment. Is that actually any good?
It's better than you think it's going to be. No shameless plugs or anything.
Yeah.
There are other brands.
There are other better brands of heater out there.
The better thing is this.
Yes.
This keeps me warm.
I do need to get one of those. That's an electronic gilet.
Yes, and there's a welding hole in it, so you know I've actually used it.
Well, yeah. Good old welding accents.
Yeah. So this is where I prep everything. So anything and everything that I've got to do, I got this in a jumble sale, pretty pleased off, with my big vice.
You can't go wrong with that.
No.
Okay.
It's the reverse of a fridge.
So there's no milk in there. Oh, it's a reverse of a fridge.
The reverse of a fridge is an oven.
Ah, so we can cook chicken and stuff in there then, I take it.
Yeah.
No? Yeah? Oh, okay, all right.
So this is powder coating up. It goes up to about 250, I think. It's 30 kilowatts, so you know when it's on. Big old thermostat on it. It's quite good. Use it quite a lot.
It's a hefty oven. Like, you can put whatever you want in that thing, which is great.
But yeah.
I thought you were going to walk in there now. A human being's just walked into an oven. That is a joke I'm not going to mention. Perfect. And yet, you said you built this. What's this?
So this is the spray booth, which is recently used with white powder everywhere. But essentially, so the first thing you need when you're powder coating is a good ground. So there is a block up here which has got an earth cable that's running to a copper ground rod outside. And then this is all earth. So anything I want to do, so I've obviously made these fit from out the oven because they came with the oven. And it's obviously got a set of lights, which is quite bright. So
that is super bright, but it's great though.
And then the extractor as well. I need to get more organised. I'm sorry. I'm messy.
Hey, it's a workshop, not a studio.
Yeah.
Remember that. Doesn't matter if it's messy.
Exactly, yeah. So this is my mate's blaster. It's far too small already. I've been having issues. Mainly the issue with size isn't the fact that I can't get anything like big items in there, although that is a problem. The main issue is that I'm blasting at 60 psi and the media's just splashing back in my face, going everywhere, creating a dust cloud, and you can't see what you're doing. So I think a bigger one would be better. Know how big it is, what you do with it.
Exactly.
But,
does the job.
Taking the light on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. LED light. No, is it LED when it flickers on camera like that? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
it had a light in there. So originally this was siphon fed. Siphon fed is rubbish. It does the job for like hobbying and doing little bits. But
If you guys know what that is, great, because yeah.
basically, airline goes in there, and then the pressure causes it. There's a siphon at the bottom which sucks the media.
Oh,
up
is it
and
to
then
do with
blasts it out.
negative pressure within the cabinet? Okay,
Kind of,
okay.
I think.
Science.
I don't know, wizard.
Yeah,
Wizard
exactly,
goes
magic.
on. So I got rid of that, and instead, which is a bit more labour intensive, there is a pop blaster on the spot there. So hence I can now blast. So I can use bigger media, which is a big thing. So I use iron silicon now. Well, depending on what I'm blasting, to be fair, steel, iron silicon. You have to empty it out, sieve it, and put it back in.
Yeah, so hence his fiancée Civ sat in there. Hannah, if you're missing that, it's here, by the way. Okay, cool. So that's that. Obviously, potential to upgrade later when we get to bigger
I'm working.
bits.
My first thing's an automatic sieving thing. I'm working on that.
An automatic sieving thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that exists.
No,
but...
I've got an idea.
Oh, you okay?
I'll make one.
Is it one of those like gold prospector things that shakes from side to side? Just all falls out.
Not quite.
Oh, okay.
Although that could work, I suppose. And then you've got the other racking, which is again full of rubbish. Because basically this is like the Celica's wiring loom, brake lines, which we start making new ones.
Oh, so this is all of Clyde's stuff.
There's some Jensen interceptor bits in there. And
Oh, right, okay.
But yes, mostly this is Clyde stuff. So you've got, these are the brake lines off of it, which we fabricated new. So that's copper nickel, which is quite nice. Waiting to sort of start putting that on the bottom. There's an old exhaust which I was using. There's lots of random things here which I've been using as templates to fabricate bits for Clyde. So a lot of it's just going to go in the scrap.
Oh, so a lot of it's kind of templates for things you're going to do
so
new
it's
anyway.
not staying. It'll be going.
Roger that.
These are, so when I said about the rust getting quite bad on Clyde, this is what we were talking about.
Yeah, no, you showed me earlier and I was quite surprised how bad it actually was. Didn't realise it got to that stage.
I was driving it around like that.
You were driving it around like that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
when I bought my Mark II, it had, my Mark II Golf, it had the bit on the door that was rusty, and I think the two rear sill quarters, they were gone. So we replaced those, but they weren't like that. They were just a tiny bit bubbly, but not FUCK'd like that.
Yeah, I mean
I'm surprised when you didn't close the door, parts of it didn't fall off.
No, I am too, actually.
Yeah.
I think it was being held together by, so I bought this from
Hopes
a guy
and dreams, basically.
I bought this from a guy who was next to a body shop, and it turned out
How ironic.
Yeah, I have gone in, the more I've dug into the car, the more I've found the horrors that they've done. I'll put some photos up, etc.
Right, okay, yeah.
So it's been a bit of a journey. The other bits you can see here are all the intake off of this engine. This is a 3SGE engine which I've bought spare, so I own 4 of these in total. 3 of them are in cars. But,
Okay.
This is obviously just, I'm probably going to put this in the blue one, but more of that later.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, so literally you've got the front and rear subframes.
No, that's 2 fronts.
Oh, 2 front.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, they're both exactly the same.
So that's the that's one that I've welded. So they have a tendency. So obviously this is the hang on. That's the near side. Yes, that's the near side. The near side has a tendency to get so rusty that the captive nut in here no longer captive. So what I've had to do is you sort of see the start of it here. I'll do this one. Maybe I'll let you film me do that one. But that's there is no longer a captive.
So you have to cut that out and then redo it, basically.
Exactly. So yeah, this is the bolt that's come out. I get a new nut, and then I cut a bigger hole so I can then weld that. And I do not. Once I'm done, I do the famous saying of that's not going anywhere.
Right, yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
Because I've weld around the whole thing rather than you're often fine with a captive nut. So literally have like 3 splodges.
Yeah,
just
to hold it.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're just literally welding it in place for the rest of the time.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah.
I must admit, when I took the Mark II's front subframe out, because I wanted to polybush it, and I realised on mine where the wishbones are, where they join to the subframe, they just completely rot out.
Yeah.
So eventually, at some point, you could be driving along and your wishbone could just fall off.
Yeah.
Which is not great.
No, absolutely not. No.
But yeah.
Fortunately, Toyota seems to. So that's like a double skin construction. So when I'm cutting it for welding it, obviously there are plates that fold over other plates, but even just this bit where there doesn't look to be more than one, it is actually double skinned. Whether that's just the way they've manufactured it, but obviously when they've pressed it, when it's overlapped, I'm not sure, but it's quite strong. So even though the outside was pretty rotten, the inside plate, which is 2mm thick, is quite good. So that was a new learning curve. So I had to learn how to weld 2mm, well not learn how to weld, but learn how to work with 2mm plate.
Oh, it's quite thin.
Heated 2mm.
Oh, sorry, 2mm. Yeah, thick boy. For some reason.
I'm obviously working with 0.8, so got to heat it up with a gas torch first.
Yeah.
And then sort of bend it round. If you want a smooth curve, or otherwise you sort of notch it slowly in the grind.
Just hammer it in place and hope to God that it stays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use that stuff. What's it called? Flex seal or whatever it is. Power seal or whatever it's called. Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's that. I think the only thing we need to see now is Clyde.
Yeah. Everything around it was rotten. I'll put some photos up. I've got lots of photos. Again, the same with this rear quarter as well. Completely gone. Big hole in it. And then this rear arch had got away lighter, which is strange considering it's the near side. I think someone had just coated it a bit better at some point in its life.
Yeah, because obviously here in England, the near side's next to the curb.
Exactly.
Which is where all the water, all the debris, everything is. So
everything is, yeah. So you can see obviously that's where the filler neck drops through as well. It has got an extra plastic shield in there, which maybe helps. I don't know. Similar thing, so basically these are just what was Toyota thinking? This is just a rush track. It's just
well, that's it. Yeah, all of these little bits in here.
Yeah.
Dirt gets in.
Are you showing off my bad seam sealing there? All I can say is
look at
it does the job.
Well, that's the thing. It does the job. It's not one of those cars that's a concourse car. It's getting it back to. Not being funny, the factory way of doing this, it wouldn't have been that different, really.
That's factory, which is, obviously quite nice. That's done with a special spray gun, which is, I don't think I think they're pretty heavy as far as money goes.
Are they like very similar to the spray guns that you'd get for when you do like foam loft insulation type of thing, like high pressure, like just spray straight out?
Not, sort of, I think. Yeah, actually. actually. To be fair, I've never actually seen one in action. So.
Okay.
Right, let me move on. All of these little mounts I've had to make. These hold on the brake lines. Obviously, they've rusted out for nothing as well. There's quite a few different bits.
So you physically made them yourself?
Yeah, they're quite straightforward.
Okay, cool.
So you basically cut. I use a lot of cardboard. I call it CAD design, cardboard aided design.
There's no computers in this workshop, no. So yeah, cardboard CAD is the
cardboard
king.
CAD, yeah. So basically, I get a piece of cardboard, I mat it out, cut it out so it's the same length as that, and then I'll cut a sheet piece of steel, and then obviously bend it in the vise, and then weld the captive nuts to the back of it. So, and then that's it. So that was quite easy. So we did that one, a couple of other ones. So moving forwards, there's then a lot of work on the rear of these sills. Also the sills themselves, up until this point, these ones survived, but these are new. They are quite a bit of work because they're not straight, they're bent at an angle.
I can see, yeah, you've got like a cool little, it goes out type of thing, like it goes across and then up.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I made those and then just bent them over. There is some bits, again, I'm not a professional, there is some bits that fitters have to make up for.
Hey, that's all good, man. That's another video. Let's fill the car.
Yeah, exactly. Moving forward, this was better. As far as rust went, it seems to have avoided the worst of it, much because there's exhaust heat shields here which have rusted to nothing.
Oh, of course, yeah. So along here you'd have the heat shields because
yeah,
you'd have all of your fuel lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Get you.
Oh no, fuel lines run across that.
Oh, okay, so they run across on this bit here.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, so your handbrake is here, isn't it?
Yes.
And then the handbrake lines are all run down
and
split.
Yeah.
So here is basically covered with a heat shield, isn't it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty much. So.
Did you say they were dead? Are they gone?
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
They are no more.
RIP heat shield.
So moving forward, probably one of the most challenging bits of welding I had to do was this. So you know you said about your Mark II Golf where the subframe mounts up.
Yeah.
And it's rusted to nothing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Oh,
so basically,
okay.
So this, where you see all this
lovely seam sealer.
Thank you. Yeah. That's all new because it's. I put my grubby hand on the phone. Yeah, it was basically rusted out to nothing. I was surprised it hadn't gone, and I ended up with the subframe on my foot.
Right. Nice.
And then moving forward, the engine bay was a bit better around here. Again, it had been protected from over the years. Fortunately, the factory seal was quite good. At the front, again, it had been protected from over the years. Fortunately, the factory seal was quite good. At the front, not quite. So these are new radiator mounts. So you saw that old scrappy radiator over there. That was here simply just so I could use it as a template to make the mounts. I had these turned on a lathe in order to make them. They're built out of 2mm steel because I don't want them going anywhere.
So they're thick bits.
Yeah.
Thick bits. They expect to over-engineer than to under-engineer.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially for a radiator.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want it falling in.
Yeah. I don't think that will ever fall. I think the car will disappear, and the only thing that'll be left will be the radiator mounts.
And I'll be so proud.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, look at that.
But yeah, so I tried to make them look as OEM as possible. Sort of, I don't know, you can make your mind up if I've succeeded or not.
You know, I've never seen engine mounts for a Celica, radiator mounts for a Celica, but they look great. I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, they don't look like radiator mounts, but hey ho.
So then we move on to the engine bay, which has been painted.
Let's have a look at the engine bay. Let me pop this down and, let me pop this down. So, engine bay.
It's been painted in Toyota 040 white, which is its original colour. It's not necessarily the colour the rest of the car is going to be. It will be white, of course, not having odd colours. But I might go for a pearlescent colour. I think we're thinking a 3-stage pearl of some description.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but possibly using 040 as a base. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It does look nice now, but it's a bit, once it's aged, they end up looking like washing machines. That sort of colour.
Yeah, they live longer with Calgon. Yeah.
So we've got, obviously, you can see the heater matrix pipes coming in and out. I was really lazy. I didn't want to bother with wiring them, so it's been left. Because
I'd be the same. I would be the same, don't worry.
I could have stripped it all out, but at the end of the day, I am on a well, I know it's a way off in the future, but this is a way off being done. So.
Well, that's the thing. Like most people, when they like kind of restore a car, bracket some like quote unquote, they get years and years and years to do it.
Yeah.
With you, yes, it's a more modern car, so it's slightly easier. The problems you've got are old car problems.
Yeah.
Rust, etc. Fabricating bits that you need to.
30 years old.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 30-year-old car. So I think a year. I think it's one of those time frames where you've given yourself, because you have a deadline. You know your wedding, etc. But I can see that it is doable. You know, like you've got new doors, etc. for those ones. You've got new doors already. It just needs to be painted and effectively cleaned and put back together.
Yes.
So all the bits you've got just need to be cleaned.
Yes.
Painted again, or fabric, or powder coated.
Well, yeah,
again.
powder coated what I can, and then painted for where it needs to be, etc. I think some of the biggest challenges I'm going to have is probably finding parts. So, right, that about wraps it up. Obviously, you're going to probably watch me laugh, fail, bleed, cry, all the way through. On a side note, I absolutely know you probably think I'm mental, because this car is not worth it at all. Monetary value, not worth it at all.
It's a passion project.
Yeah, exactly. It's I'm a very sentimental chap. Probably,
There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, that wraps up our first video. So it was a kind of like introductory video to kind of introduce Rory, his car, what we want to do going forward, and all the kind of jobs that we want to do as well. Obviously, feel free to like and subscribe. It costs nothing to do.
No.
So like and subscribe. It helps us.
Yeah.
Massively helps us, and we're just trying to do something for the car community. You know, we're just trying to give some content out there. It's not like Chris Slicks or Matt Armstrong. We're not going to buy a car and fix it up within 24 hours and then sell it for. It does sound like fun, but me and you do not have the money to do that. This is a long passion project, and we have other things in the meantime that we are going to do as well. Like my Mini, I want to turn that into a track car, so that will be part of the story here as well. Yeah, I cannot wait. And there's going to be things I'm buying for that Mini that not many people that want to track it should buy. So, AliExpress, that's what I'm going to say. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now.